Alright, so this is a little bit, I'm just trying out my new software which I'm using. And now, oh, okay, so am I live? Okay, so I think I'm live. Let's try that again. I don't know. Let's see. Hello, am I live? Can someone connecting, streaming? Oh, okay, yes, I think I'm live. Thank you, whoever you are, and I think one of you is in this chat. Not too sure who, but it'd be great if you can say hi. So it's just a chat session. Hi guys, thanks for joining in my live stream. In this live stream, I'll answer any questions. So if you guys have any live stream, any questions you want to ask, just go ahead and type in your questions. I will be able to see your questions in the chat, and then I will try my best to answer it. And of course, if you want me to compare any IEMs and let you guys know my thoughts on what I feel about the two IEMs, I'm sure a lot of you have any questions or whatever, you know, I can help to answer it. Yeah. So let's just wait for a few more people to come in. Maybe I'll just invite some people in. I think someone have some questions someone asked me. Okay. I don't know. Okay. So, as I mentioned, this live stream is just a chat session. So, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and ask me, and I will try to reply your questions. Or if you have anything that you want me to compare, just let me know. I will compare it. Okay, and yeah. Yeah, if you have any questions, any questions that you want to any questions you want to ask me. Okay, so first question from Free Froya: do you have reviewed the Moondrop Kato? Okay, sorry, I have not reviewed the Kato, but I have reviewed the sorry, slipped my mind suddenly. This is the Aria. Okay, the Moondrop Aria. This is the Snow edition. So yeah, I have reviewed the Snow edition of Arias. Okay. Daimo S. Hey Ian, I want to ask about the Dioko, or depends on how you want to pronounce. Have you tried to do tip rolling on it? And which narrow bore ear tips is your favorite for the Dioko or Dioko? Okay, so in terms of ear tips, the ear tip that I use is it's not really narrow bore. Okay, this is the Spin Fit CP145. Okay, so it's not really narrow, and to me, I don't use much of a narrow ear tip. I use mostly of a normal size ear tip, and mostly wide bore ear tip. So the other wide bore ear tip which I use is this one, which is the one I just reviewed, and this one is the Spin Fit W1. Okay, so yeah, I use mostly normal bore to wide bore ear tips. Yeah. Okay, so in terms of ear tips, my favorite one currently is of course the W1, and this ear tip it kind of articulates according to the angle of your ear canal, which is mostly, I think, up to 40 degrees. Okay, and yeah, I like this type of ear tip, right? I mean, if you take a look at the amount of ear tips that I have, I mean, I have the KB ear ones right here, and I think I have some other. The wider bore ones are this. So these are the wide bore ear tips that I use. But yeah, not really narrow bore. I don't really use narrow bore ear tips. Yeah. So, but for me, I use normal bore ear tips, and this is the CP145, which I use most of the time. Okay, so my answer to you is that for the Diokos or Diokos, the ear tip that I use most of the time is this one, which is the CP145, and I have been trying this W1, the spin fits, and somehow in terms of the sound stage, it changed the sound stage a little bit, and it gives me a wider and a perception of a wider sound stage. Okay, so I think this one does give it a wider sound as compared to the CP145. If you take a look at the bore, the W1 has got a wider bore as compared to the CP145. Okay, so hope that answers your question. Right, so next question from Diomo is there any bass improvement if you use a CP145 or W1 on Dioko? Right, so in terms of bass, I would say it's very, very, very minor improvement. With the CP145, I mean, I didn't really these two, but in general, when I'm using the 145 and the W1, I feel that the 145 does give me the perception there's more bass, there's a deeper bass as compared to the W1. Okay, so I think if you ask me, the CP145 does give me a perception of more bass. Okay, so yeah, that's how I look at it. But in terms of comfort, the W1 gives me more comfort as compared to the CP145. And if you look at the texture of the W1, it's a bit more grippy. It's got more grip as compared to the CP145. CP145 has got is a bit more sleek as compared to the W1. Okay, so that's for the tips. Anyone else have any other questions or anything that you guys want me to talk about? Just let me know and I will talk about. Okay, so I think there's another question from Rajesh Praveen Kumar. Which is best fit and sound for Blon 3, CP100 or CP145? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take out the Blon 03, if I can find it. So just give me a while. And I will look for my blondes. Okay, sorry about that. I think I have my blondes right here. And this is my blondes. So in terms of the fit, in fact, both of them, they do fit very well. So this is the W1. And if you take a look at the inner bore, it does go all the way in. And at the same time, it does articulate. I feel that the W1 does articulate more as compared to, let me try on the CP145. Okay, and if you take a look at CP145, it's loose. It's very loose. And the difference between the W1 and the CP145, the W1 has got a ribbed inner core. Not too sure if you guys can see, but it's ribbed, and it grips onto the nozzle of the IEM, so it's very firm. It stays in very snugly onto the IEM, whereas for the CP145 is quite loose, if you ask me. So let's try that again. Let me show you again. You see, it goes in very easily and comes out very easily, so you might lose it in your ear. Okay, so if you ask me, I would prefer the W1, right? W1 is quite unique. It goes in very tightly, and is the material of this W1 is quite grippy as well, so it grips onto the IEM or the nozzle of the IEM when it goes in. So when it articulates, then yeah, it really stays in position. Okay, so Rajesh Praveen Kumar, I hope that answers your question. So my answer would be is the W1 that fits. Oh, sorry, your question was CP100 or CP145. So unfortunately, I don't have the 100. I only have the CP145 with me. But I think you can see that, you know, the CP145 don't really fit the Blon's quite well. I mean, the Blon's 03, the nozzle is quite narrow, so it doesn't really fit. I mean, it does articulate, but you can see that it comes off quite easily. Okay, next question. Renz, what do you think of Harman Target 2019 version 2? Okay, so if you ask me about Harman Target, when I listen to my music library, most of the time, those IEMs that are close to what I like is close to the Harman Target, which let me just load. Okay, so this is the Harman Target. Okay, so if you ask me, those IEMs that I like is close to the Harman Target. So I would think that Harman Target is something that most people will prefer in terms of the frequency that is being presented in the Harman Target. And for me included, you know, when I measure an IEM and when I listen to it, and if it sounds good, and I will take a look at the graph and see what kind of target it is. So if it's closer to the Harman Target, that's the target that is closer to my preference. So what I think for the Harman Target is that it's kind of like the general public, what kind of listening preference. Okay, that's what I think. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Rance. Okay, next question, actually it's not a question, it's Demetrio Alvarez. Hello, you are from Argentina. I'm from Singapore. Nice to meet you. Okay, next question is from Free Foya. Moondrop Aria Snow against Aria OG. Let me just take out my Aria OG if I have it around here. Oh, there you go. So I think I have it here. Okay. Now, what's your question again? Moondrop Snow against Aria OG. I want neutral sounding. Which is better? Okay, so let's take out my graph again. And let's go to Moondrop Aria and OG. All right, more of a bassy type of listening experience. So you've got a more smooth listening experience, a more fun listening experience. That's why I would think that the original arias is a little bit less natural as compared to the snow edition of the arias, or neutral. Both of them are not really neutral, if you ask me. In my opinion, if you take a look at the graph, I mean, the bass is quite a lot. Oops. The bass is quite a lot. Okay, it's like a V shape. It's a very gentle V shape. So if you ask me, it's not a very neutral listening experience. So I would say that in terms of closer to neutral, the snow edition is the one as compared to the original one. Okay, so I hope I answered your question. Free for ya. Right, next would be Stefan Dela Cruz. Ian, keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Stefan. Joseph the Dreamer. All right. Why do you shill everything? A lot of the IEM you review suck. Okay, now I think I want to address this issue. The word shill has got a lot of meaning to it. And to me, all these IEMs, they don't suck, right? It's not about, no company, not a single company will produce or deliver any IEM that don't sound good. Agree? If it doesn't sound good, why would they release it into the market if they know that nobody's going to buy it because it doesn't sound good? So to me, everything will have to sound good. They need to sound good. But how good should they be? That's the question. And also, how good does it sound to your listening preference? So what I would say, right, to you, right, is that everything will sound good, but it's how well it suits your listening preference, right? So in order to answer your question, I mean, to me, shilling is not what I do, right? There are a lot of IEMs that I mention that is too shouty or is too dark. To me, it's not about good or bad, right? Nothing is good or bad. It depends on your listening preference. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. I don't shill, I give my honest opinion. Okay, so next question. Demo S, thanks for the answer. All right, thank you. Joseph the Dreamer, so you keep getting review units? No. Okay, it's not, I mean, it depends, right? If the companies or the manufacturers, they have a new IEM coming out and they want me to talk about it, I will talk about it. I mean, there's no obligation. They're not paying me. No company is paying me. I'm not even getting a commission or any affiliation for the links that I put in my review videos. No commission, no affiliation, nothing, zero, right? So the only thing I get in return is that I get to keep all these IEMs. I keep them and I don't sell them. It's unethical, in my point of view, to sell anything that was given to me, right? So if you ask me now to take out any IEM that I reviewed before, I still have them, except for those loan units, right? Those loan units, I will have to return them, obviously, okay? But if you ask me to take out any IEM, it's still with me, okay? All right, so next questions is Rance. Thanks for your response. Thank you. Deegan Audio Review. What IEM have better note weight with focus on tone and timbre? Wow. What IEM has got focus on tone and timbre. Okay, now let me try to recall. Okay, I would say the arias, the original arias. Okay, what else? If you don't have that heavy note weight, there's one more which there's one which I'm reviewing right now, which is this one. All right, this is the character. I have not released this video yet, and I'm not going to comment on this, obviously, because then you won't watch my reviews. But yeah, this one has got a very heavy note weight and a very warm tone and timbre for this character. Okay, yeah, so this one. The other one would be I wouldn't say the arias. I don't want to say the arias. There's another one which is the let me see. Do I have it here? No. Okay, so actually, you know what? This one, which is the Shimili, does have quite a heavy note weight to the tone and timbre, and it's a warm tone and timbre for the Shimili, but it's still not up to that level that I want. The CRA Plus does have heavy note weight as well, not enough. Oh, hang on. Okay, so I found one which I feel that's got that note weight that I like and that tone and the timbre that I like, which is the let me hang on a second. Let me just reply to something. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so this is the airship that I just reviewed, and I feel that this one has got that tone and that timbre that it's got that nice tone which I like. Okay. Yeah. All right. So next question from Joseph the Dreamer. Both arias suck. Okay. Thank you for your contribution. Deegan Audio Review. I have Kato. I feel like vocals sink into background. Okay, so I have not tried the Katos, so I'm not too sure I can comment on that. Okay, next would be Vortex Reviews. Howdy, folks. Howdy, Vortex. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. It's just a chit chat, you know. Let's see. Next one. Okay, Vortex. I found Harman too shouty. Okay, now, yes and no. It depends on the individual's HREF, how you actually perceive sound. And to me, maybe I have a very common hearing preference, but to me, the Harman target is something close to what I like to listen to. So yeah, if some people find it shouty, as in Vortex, you know, you find it shouty, yeah, it depends really very much on your listening preference. Rents, just get Moondrop Chew. Yeah, actually, Moondrop Chew is a really good buy if you were to just get them for even the. Let me just take the Moondrop Chew out. Even if you get the tips for the tips itself, I feel that it's kind of good option to get. So as you guys know, the Moondrop Chew comes with the all the cable, Sorry about that. Let me just arrange my stuff. As you can see, I'm not a very mostly R&B and metal and jazz. So I think this would be a good choice. And next one would be another good choice. This is the CRA Plus. Okay, this is a good choice. The other one is not here, which I'm going to try and find it. Oh, this is another one, which is the AS16. Actually, it's not a really good choice for really heavy metal type of genre of music, but if you like a more balance and is tuning, this one is one of them. Next would be where's my DQ success? Next would be this. This is the DQ success. This would be what I would recommend to you if you like to listen to R&B, metal, and rock. Yeah, and jazz, classic, something like that. Not so much classic, but more metal. Okay. All right. Next would be Rovan Mohammed. Hello. Can you recommend me one of this Moondrop Blessing versus Dunu Vulcan? Okay, so unfortunately I'm not a shill, so I don't have the Blessing or the Dunu Vulcan. Okay, so yeah, I can't answer your question on that one. Vortex TRN X6 was released without sounding good. Okay, thank you. Luca, DQ6 is the IEM you use most. All right, so if you are using DQ6, then I would say this DQ6S would be an upgrade, and HBB would be the one that you should go for his tuning, because he likes metal, he likes rock, and this is one of the upgrade that you should go for. Okay. Tedokrovsky, Harman is upper mid over high. I like the other way around, high over upper mid. In a way, it's true, and that's the reason why I kind of like this one, which is the AS16, the KZ AS16. This one is more mid-centric. If you look at the hump, all right, everyone's talking about the hump. Everyone is talking about the that graph. Okay, but the thing is, to me, it sounds mid-centric, whereby the vocals and the instruments they're more forward as compared to other IEMs. And if you take a look at the graph, okay, where is it? Okay, if you take a look at this graph and you compare it with any other graph, this hump here is where it misses out on the Harman target, right? It's not really the Harman target. So yeah, this to me is a good listening. You know, it's a different refreshing tuning as compared to other types of tuning. And to me, the Harman target is, well, not everything. All right, it's not everything. It's just a target where maybe it's a common listening target for everyone. Right, so next would be let me see, Tokenness. Is the Truthear X Crane 0 a good upgrade from the Blon BL-03? Now, I wouldn't say it's an upgrade. It's actually totally different. Where's my blondes? I don't have my blondes. Oh, right. Okay. So they both are very, very different. Okay, in terms of everything. The driver setup. All right. This one has got 2 drivers. This one only have 1. And the shell is different. The tuning is different. Okay. So if you ask me, they are totally different. Right, it's like comparing or trying to compare an apple and an orange. So it depends on your listening preference. Okay, this one is warmer. I mean, both of them are pretty okay in terms of the warmth in the tone and the timbre. But yeah, it's this one has got it's got a better sound stage. It's not as warm as the BL-03. And in terms of technicalities, on the whole, the Truthear 0 X Clinical would be a better choice in terms of text. But again, in terms of tuning, it really depends on your listening preference, okay, on which one you like. This one is more laid back, more fun. This one is also, but it's more neutralish, and the tone is more lean and thin, a little bit dry. So it depends on what type of listening experience you like. Okay, right. So next comment, Ronnie Irwanto. Looks so many review Dioko. It sound good for who love Aria and Olina person, or wait another cheap planar from Kinera. Okay, look, planar as what HBB has mentioned, and in fact, if you looked at his videos recently, is the planar wars. All right, so the manufacturers are making more, focusing more on the planars, and I would say if you can wait, please wait for more cheaper planars to come out. I mean, of course, you have to see what type of driver. Planar drivers, they do have different grade as well. So it depends on whether you can wait or not. I mean, if you can wait, just wait, because planars, they do have a different tonality, different technicality as compared to dynamic drivers. So I would say if you can wait and you want a cheaper one, yeah, might as well, right? But Dioko is already so cheap. It's $99 US dollars. It's compared to Timeless. Timeless is like double the price, and that was like a few months ago. So yeah, I would say wait if you can, right? Okay, so next comment is jumped. Let me see. Joseph the Dreamer, nicely answered, Ian. Thank you, Joseph. Vortex, Blon BL-03 and the Airship have great tonality and timbre. Thank you for endorsing my comment, Vortex. Thank you very much. Rampage 18, I like the sound of Galaxy Buds Pro that came free with my phone, but I hate wireless. So I'm looking for a wired one. Which IEM do you think is close to the sound of Buds Pro at $100 range and $150 range? All right, so I would say for the Buds Pro, this is not really $100, but the Airship is one of them. All right, this is one of them that I would recommend. Hang on, let me just look for my treasure chest of this one. Oh no. The Melees, this one of them. But where is my Olinas? Okay, but I don't think I have my Olinas here. But yeah, I mean, if you want something wired, it would be the Olinas, right? And Olinas have that similar tone and timbre as compared to the Galaxy Buds Pro. Okay, and the Airship, this one. Right, Abdul Zuhir, Truthear compared to Arias. So Truthear compared to Arias. Again, the Arias, they sound warmer. They've got a more heavy note, It's got smoother sound reproduction. It's less resolute. It's got a more intimate soundstage as compared to the Zero. But in terms of tone and timbre, I would say the Arias have got a better tone and timbre in terms of warmer tone and timbre, not better. The Zero sounds a little bit lean, a little bit light-weighted as compared to the Aria Snow. And in terms of technicalities, the Truthear has got a better tech. It's got a wider soundstage. In fact, a unique soundstage to my ears. Right, I can hear the soundstage is really wide to the sides and deep and layered, and the layer is top and bottom type of layer, type of soundstage. So this is really unique in terms of soundstage. Arias, they sound really natural in terms of the tone and timbre. So yeah, these are the two differences. But again, Arias, they have got one dynamic driver. This one has got two. So yeah, not a really good comparison. But yeah, next question or next comment. Have you ever EQ your IEMs? Share some of your experiences. To me, EQing is adjusting the volume of different frequencies or different bands. That's just simply what I feel, right? It's just increasing the bass department or increasing the treble. To me, I don't really EQ my music, right? I like to listen to it as it is, as how the driver is supposed to be delivering that music to my ears. Okay, so that's my listening preference. To me, I don't EQ my music, right? Simple as that. Yeah. Okay, next would be Joseph the Dreamer. But from what Ian said, everything should have good tonality and timbre, right? I wouldn't agree to that in terms of what is good and what is bad, right? In terms of how you perceive the tone and the timbre of a certain IEM, it depends on the individual, right? I like something in between neutral and natural. You may be different. And to me, what is neutral may not be neutral to you. Okay, so I think what we are touching on right now is actually it's not the objective of the subject, but it's actually a very subjective question or comment that you have raised. And I feel that what everyone feels or hears is different in terms of the tone and the timbre. I mean, there are some obvious signs that the tone is, or the timbre and the note weight is light, or the tone is dry or warm. Some are very obvious. But I think, again, back to your comment, tone and timbre is really depending on how an individual perceive it. Alright, so next comment. Tetroskov lagging. I think, yeah, it's a little bit lagging. I'm not too sure. Okay, next. Is it just me, a vortex? Is it just me who is buffering? Also buffering. Yen is buffering. Okay, so I think I think the internet here is a little bit off today, so please forgive me for that. Dagon audio review. BQEYZ Autumn has good note weight. Yes, it does actually. It's got a good note weight. Pretty balanced, I would say. And also, if you have the chance, you have the chance to actually swap the change the tone and sound signature itself. So yeah, there are 3 filters here for you to change. So I would say this has got very good tone and timbre as compared to the rest. And this is one of my go-tos actually. Yeah. I think tonality, Tadokrovsky said, I think tonality and timbre is also an objective thing. Instruments playing in rooms sound different from playing in concert hall or open space. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, if you want to look at it in an objective position or objective point of view, yes, you can actually analyze objectively the tone and timbre of a certain instruments. All right, and I'm sure there are equipment and measurements that can be done. Right, so next will be David Blackman. Sorry, audio is crapping out. Yes, sorry, it is right. Next would be Get Triggered Ian. Right, most IEMs that follow the Harman target actually follow the smooth Harman IE2019 target. It's true. This sounds very sibilant because it misses a necessary resonant peak at 8K. Okay, so I've not really studied into that in depth. Okay, into the Harman target. So I think again, Harman target, everyone has their own opinion about this 8K here. You know, I'm sure Harman is gonna do something about this. They might bump it up, and you know they might collect all the data that they have throughout all these years, and then they might bump up, you know, their target curve here for the Harman. So I mean, this is like, I mean, the last they updated was the version 2 back in 2019. So let's see when they're going to update it again. But for now, this is the Harman target that they have available throughout everywhere. So this is the target that everyone follows. Yeah. Okay, next. Tadokrovsky. Galaxy Buds is tuned by AKG. I recommend you to get some AKG IEMs. They are selling flagship N5005 for $249 now. It's very good, but also hard to drive. Okay, so I've not tried AKG. I will if I have the chance. Thank you so much for your suggestion, Tadokrovsky. Right, next would be Nugara. Which one is the best value for money? Okay. These are very general questions. I like this type of general questions. Okay, so this one right here, right? So this is 22, 24, yeah. Moondrop Chew, best value for money, right? Because you get a good pair of ear tips or quality pair of ear tips. No, I wouldn't say good, right? Quality pair of ear tips. At the same time, you get a nice sounding IEM. Okay. Next would be let me see. Next would be, let me see, I think this one. I think this brand here is a little bit unknown, which is the Rose-Tech Photon. And this one I think is retailing for $14. This one is really value for money in terms of the tuning of this IEM. Okay, it's nicely tuned, very suitable for bass heads, V-shaped. Yeah, it's a V-shaped tune IEM, very easy to listen to, comfortable to listen to. So yeah, $15. Can't go wrong with this. It's really value for money. Okay, next. Animesh Narada. What are the ear tips that you would suggest for Blon BL-03? Oh, I think that question has been asked earlier. So I would suggest this one, which I just bought. This is the SpinFit W1s, right? So inside is ribbed, the inner core is ribbed, so it sticks and it is is kind of grippy, so it grips onto the uh, inner side of the nozzle, right? And it grips and doesn't come out. So yeah, this SpinFit W1. Bruce Lai. Hi Ian, how good is the fitting of AS16 Pro? Does it have the uncomfortable suction feeling? No. Okay, so I think I did mention that this AS16 is quite huge. It's very huge actually. It's one of the biggest IEM that I have. And in terms of the fit of this AS16, it does, and the nozzle is pretty long, and doesn't go all the way into my ear canal, and it does wobble in my ear. Okay, it does shake a bit, but when I'm listening to my music, okay. Take a look at this vent here. It does have a vent here. Okay, so I wouldn't say that it's totally enclosed. Okay, it's not totally enclosed. So there's no vacuum there's no suction, I would say, yeah, and when I'm listening to my music. And in fact, there's no moving force, there's no driver, there's no movement in the magnetic movement inside this IEM, right? It's not a dynamic driver, it's a balanced armature. So yeah, you don't need to have the cavity to move the air. Okay, so I would say this one right here does release the air, and yeah, I don't feel any uncomfortable feeling when I'm using this AS16 Pro. Okay, next, Plus Ultra. Hello, yes, hello Plus Ultra. JS, thoughts on planar items. Thoughts, okay. Thoughts. My thought is that if you have not heard or listened to any of planar, go try it out, because it's a different listening experience. The technicalities of the planars are different from dynamic drivers, right? So if you have not heard planar IEM before, go try it out. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, the price of planars are dropping drastically. This one right here is just $99 US. It's gonna get closer. Kinera is gonna launch another even more cheaper planar IEM. I think that's about $40. So just wait and try a planar. I mean, planars, they've got cleaner sound. They produce a more superior resolution production of sound. Okay, in a nutshell, planars, they've got cleaner sound being produced as compared to dynamic drivers. They are more resonant, they're more resolving. Okay, so yeah, try planars if you can. Okay, right, next question or comment. Oh wow. Do you clean foam ear tips? Okay, so as you can see, I don't really use foam ear tips, right? I use foam ear tips to do my measurements, right? But I don't use foam ear tips. But you can soak it in soapy water, right? Soak it in soapy water for a while, and then after that, just air dry it, and then rinse the soap away, and then you just air dry it. Okay. All right. So next question is Ivan from Ivan Piffer. Thanks for your answer. Another question: a better cable to upgrade the KZ or CCA stock cable, and AliExpress link or something that you can check. I would say maybe. Okay, I'm not really a cable guy, as you can see. I don't have any cables with me right now, but Yingwu, right? So Yingwu is one of the cable that one of the brands that I like, right? So I've been using this for a longer time, for the longest time, right? And of course, KB Ear does make great cables. I mean, they don't just make IEMs, but KB Ear, they do make cables. And this, to me, Yingwu, they make great cables. That's it's quite limited in terms of cables, right? All right, next. Can you compare? Wait, hang on. Get triggered, Ian. Kind of weird that the Moondrop Chew measures better than 99.5% of other IEMs, other than missing sub-bass and huge drop in SPL after the resonant peak, yet always gets backhanded compliments. Yeah, actually, you know what? I mean, in terms of the production of the sound and the tuning of the chew, right? Tuning is good. Tuning is one thing, but the quality of the driver is another. So I would say, in terms of the tuning for the chew, somewhat nice to listen to. I think a lot of people like the tuning of the chew, right? But the quality of that tuning is another answer, another issue altogether. So that is a budget IEM for a reason, so that people can actually access to this type of tuning at a low price. So I would say it's not just about the tuning, it's also the quality of the driver inside. Obviously, I mean, you and I, we can't really open up. I don't open up IEMs. All right, some people like High Fry and Delta Fry, they open up IEMs. I don't. But it's just a small small number of us who are able to open up IEMs and see what's inside. So I mean, kudos to them. But that's one thing. When you listen to an IEM and you find the sound good, it's good. But the next thing is whether is it resolute, whether the resolution is good or not. Just some people don't care, right? They just want to have that nice tuning. They don't care about the resolution. Okay. All right. Next comment, Dogman. Can you compare Zero X-Screen versus AS16 Pro? Okay. I think it's not very comparable, right? You can't really compare these two. Why? Because this is full BA. This is double DD. It's like two opposite ends of the spectrum, right? The type of drivers already puts them apart. The BA will have that BA timbre, the kind of timbre that you will not get on the dynamic driver, and this is double the dynamic driver. So yeah, it's a little bit hard to compare, but this one is more, in terms of sound signature, this one is more mid-centric. It's got a different sound stage. All right, so this one has got a wide sound stage, a deep sound stage, a very normal sound stage. But this one has got a unique sound stage. It's got layered sound stage. So yeah, it's not a really comparable situation here for these two because they sound different. And yeah, that's my conclusion for these two. Right, so next comment. Amat Amin. Do you rate Truthear is best budget under 50? If other, please do tell me natural sounding. Under 15 budget. No, right. If you have listened to Critical's way of tuning, right? For him, he likes a very lean bass. He likes a very natural and neutral sound. He likes his treble, right? He likes his treble. So if you have that similar listening preference as Critical and the way he tunes an IEM, then to me, I mean, my comment to you is that for $50 IEM, this would be the one that you should go for. I mean, it's natural sounding, it's less than $50. It's not the best. I wouldn't say it's the best under 50. It depends on what you like to listen to and whether this type of tuning is suitable for your preference. Okay, so he tunes this very neutral to natural, and if you know Clinical, this is the type of sound that and I like this type of tuning, right? It's a very good tuning to me. I like a more analytical and more critical listen to my tracks. Okay. All right, next comment. Andrew Cunningham. Have you tried the original KZ AS16? If yes, how does it compare with the KZ AS16? Okay, unfortunately, I didn't start this hobby too long ago, so I have not heard before the KZ AS16, so I'm not able to comment there. Apologize for that. Right, so next comment, Jerry Christian, good review, bro. Thank you very much. Alright, next comment, 4N631. I already have the Tin Hi-Fi T3 Plus. Should I get the Truthear X Clinical 0 and the new HBB IEM? I'll answer the first part. If you have the Tin Hi-Fi T3 Plus and you want to get the Truthear, let me just take out the graph. Okay. Now, they're, again, totally different tuning, right? If you look at the graph, okay, and Tin Hi-Fi T3 Plus. Okay. One is a single dynamic driver, the other is a double dynamic driver. So in terms of tuning, they are almost similar, okay, almost similar. But if you look closely, the sub bass for the T3 Plus is a bit more extended as compared to the 0. Now, as I mentioned, right, the tuning for the 0 is very unique to Clinical's listening preference, right? And if you look at the lower mids on the mid bass here, it dips down, and that's because he likes his bass really lean, right? It's a very unique hump here at the bass. Okay, so if you ask me if whether you should get the 0, it all boils down to your listening preference, right? Tin Hi-Fi, the T3 Plus, as compared to the 0, it's warmer. It's got a more natural, I wouldn't say neutral. It's got a bit warmth and natural tone to the T3 Plus. Let me see if I have it here. Yes, I do. Okay, so yeah, so the T3 Plus has got a warmer tone as compared to the 0, and it's got a heavier note weight as compared to the 0. It's more easier to listen to. It's not as dry as the 0, but it's less analytical and clinical as compared to the 0. So as I mentioned, it depends on your listening preference and what you like, right? And as I mentioned, Clinical's tuning is a little bit different from other people's tuning. So if you want something unique to him, then yes, you should get the 0. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next one. Bareback. Is Moondrop variation the best IEM to date? I'm new. Okay, so I'm just as new as you because I've not tried the Moondrop variation. So yeah, I cannot comment on that. Kitty Cone. If I find DQ6 too bright, would AS16 Pro be bright to me? Now, I think a lot of people understand the AS16 Pro in terms of the treble. Again, let me take out my graph. Okay. AS16 Pro, if you take a look at the treble, take a look at this part here. Okay. And if you take a look at the DQ6S, look at this part here is higher, right? It's more forward. And if you ask me, the AS16 does not have shoutiness. It's not shouty. It's not sibilant. It's not harsh in terms of the treble. And the dip starts from 3K. So at the 3K onwards, it comes down, as in it doesn't bleed. It doesn't sound too harsh to your ear, as compared to the DQ6. DQ6 will start to rise from the 3K hertz onwards, and that would sound bright. Okay, so I hope this answers your question, right? So my conclusion is the AS16 Pro is not a bright IEM. Okay, so next comment. Kai Sin. Oh, hi. Hello. Dengan audio review. I still... Oh, Dengan... Where? Sorry. My comment just jumped. My God. So where's the next... okay. Dengan audio review. I still thinking blind buying an IEM is a bit risky. Best way is still demo them at store, especially expensive one. Yes, I do agree with you. You will need to audition the IEM before you actually buy it. And what I usually do is to bring my personal gear with me, like my DAP, the DAP that I like to use. I bring it with me to the store, listen to the IEM that I intend to buy, and then buy it, right? You got to listen to it, not just look at graphs. Graph is just for reference. Okay, so yeah, next comment, Brendan Lee. Is the Moondrop Kato a good buy? Okay, I don't have the Moondrop Kato, right? So sorry, I can't answer that question. Okay, next comment is Andy Chow. Truthear 0 or Cell Notes Dioko. Again, two different driver setups, right? Two different tuning, two different technicalities. Can't really compare. Okay, yeah. So I would say, if I would say get both. Yeah, it's something whereby I would say get both. Yeah, it's two different tuning, two different listening experience. Yeah, I would say. Okay, next, Bruce Lai, thank you. Jordan, yo, Ian, go live at this hour. Haha, okay. Yes, I'm live. Thank you for joining in. Okay, next comment. My comment does not matter. Okay, waiting for your TRI Kai review. Okay, TRI Kai will be coming soon, so just keep a lookout for that. Yep. Tado Krofsky. Frequency response actually determines a lot, including soundstage and imaging, but fitting is another big factor. Your ear can perceive frequency response very differently from measuring tools. Yes, that is true. I totally agree with you. In fact, the insertion, the depth of insertion, and the angle of that insertion does make a very big difference in terms of how sound is being perceived as being compared to as being measured on a rig. I totally agree with you, Tadrovsky. Next comment, Jordan, when is... Oh, I already answered that question. Lixim, Yingwu makes good cables for the price for sure. Yes, I agree. It's very good cable. Lixim, oh yes, the nice HCK is good. Yes, that's a good cable. I agree. I've seen a lot. Vortex reviews, Sin Hayes HS do great cables and do custom options. Yes, I've seen that as well. That's good. Okay. Yeah, but not in the same price range. Okay, I guess you guys are talking about comment, talking amongst each other. Yeah, okay, next, let's take a look. Dagon audio review, Moondrop Link K looks good, but to me, but I have not tried it. I don't really understand that, but Moondrop Link. Okay, so you want a link? Oh, yeah, I think you can get it from Surgeon Audio, if I'm not wrong, or you can just take a look at AliExpress. Yep. Next comment, Vortex review. Sin HS have a AliExpress store? Yeah, it does. Next comment, my comment does not matter. Sin HS. Okay. Right, talk amongst yourselves, guys. All right, next comment. Oh wow. Next is a Japanese name, which Misto Gun. Hi Ian, what IEMs would you recommend for anime music and J-pop? Very good question. And I would say, where is it? Where is it? Dioko? Where else? What else? And this one, AS16 Pro. There's two, very good for anime music and J-pop. J-pop and anime music, they have very high-pitched electric guitars and female singers, and I feel that this one does tame that. At the same time, it's forward. This one, the Dioko as well. You know, it does replay the anime songs really well. I've listened to a few. Yeah, I would recommend either this one or this one, the Diokos or the AS16 Pro. Right, next comment, Kumain Kana Sir Ian. I've already had my dinner. It's already so late. It's 11:13. Hello, it's all supper. You know. Okay, right. So next, Free Foya, Gagoma na Tagalog. Yeah, right. Okay. Johnny Sins. Hello to you, Johnny. Andrew Kunanan. Thank you for the answer. Hope you review some old stuff like KZ AS16 and compare with the new models. I'll try my best if I can, if it comes across. Next comment, Ahmad Amarin. Just tell me best quality IEM under $50. Don't care how many of V-shape. I am gonna buy one around next month. Any? Do you have a preference? Like, do you like your bass? Do you like classical? What type of music do you like to listen to? You know, I need to know something from you first before I can recommend something. Okay, next would be 4N631. Thank you for answering my question. The way you explain is easier to understand. You just earned a new subscriber. Thank you very much, 4N631, for subscribing. Kitty Corn, thank you. Cyrus Kuhn, hello. Is AS16 Pro still good sounding even with smartphones? Does it need power? Zaris, I think it still can be driven, right? You don't need. How do I explain this? These IEMs can be driven with a smartphone, right? They can. It does not bring out the full potential of the IEM if you don't have the enough power to drive this IEM. It sounds good, but it doesn't sound the best. So you want to open up the driver. Then I would suggest to either use a DAP or a DAC. Okay, so either the DAP or a DAC. Simple. You want to have good sound, use a DAP or use a DAC. Okay, yeah, so that's my answer to you. You can drive it, it's just not enough power to drive it. Well, it's sufficient to drive it, but it's not the best. Okay, next, Christian Yu. How does the Tin T3 Plus stack against the KZ AS or Arias? Okay, so I would say T3 Plus is a little bit different in terms of tuning as compared to the Arias, and it depends on which Arias you're talking about. So because Arias now have two, so if you want to compare in terms of the performance in technicalities, I would say the Arias has got the Arias and the T3 Plus. Where's my T3 Plus? Oh my god, I can't find them now. It was here. It was here. I can't find it now. Okay, anyway, let's take out the graph. Okay, but yeah, the T3 Plus has got a balanced tuning. The Arias also have almost similar tuning. Let me just, where is the Aria? I don't know which one you want to talk about, but yeah, these are the two Arias. Almost similar tuning, and what's the last one that you mentioned? Where's the ZAS? So ZAS is the, where is it? Oh my god. ZAS is the odd one out, if you ask me, and not this one, sorry. Where's the ZAS? There, okay, ZAS. Sorry, forgive me for that. There you go. So ZAS is the odd one out from the three, right? The Arias and the T3 Plus. I would say the ZAS has got the most bass, the bloated bass, totally out in terms of the tuning, right? So look at the amount of bass on the ZAS. Is a totally different tuning. If you like fun bass, you like to enjoy listening to your bass, then the ZAS is the one. But yeah, I don't know what you mean by stack up, but yeah, but these two are the ones that they sound almost similar in terms of the technicalities, and the listening experience is more balanced as compared to the ZAS. Okay. Next, let me see. The Legend. I'm thinking to get T3 Plus as an upgrade of the CRA. I don't like the blondes. Okay. It lacks sub bass and hi-hats, cymbals, sounds of not correct timbre. CRA lacks mids, frequencies. The T3 Plus a right choice, $100. I'm not too sure how much is it selling on from whichever platform they're buying from, but yeah, I mean T3 Plus is a good choice if you ask me. If you compare it with the CRA, yeah, it's definitely an upgrade from the CRA. It is more expensive, obviously, but in terms of the timbre, I mean the timbre, the tone, yeah, it's an upgrade. Okay. Next comment, Tadakrovsky. See, I can pronounce your name correct now. Do you watch anime? Yeah, I do. I watched a lot. Spy Family, Monster. What was that? Oh, damn, I forgot that. But yeah, I watched the entire series. A few anime cartoons. Yeah, I've watched them. Yeah. Let me see. Next question or comment. Any recommendations, IEMs that you are better than the T3 Plus? Any? Although the tons. But again, I want to come back to the point of better or worse. There is no better or worse. There is only suitable or not suitable, right? In terms of listening preference. There is no IEM that's better or worse or no good or good, right? That's my conclusion. Okay, next. Zyrus, yo, AS16 Pro for Japanese music. Nice. Might also consider Dioko. Yes. Yep. Next comment. Apollo moon landing. It is 8 a.m. for me. Good for you, bro. Free for ya, Sir Ian. Don't call me sir. All right, I'm not a knight or anything like that. What is your nationality? Why do you understand Filipino? Kabayan. I'm Singaporean. I have a lot of Filipinos friends in here in Singapore. I mean, yeah. So I learned from them, I guess. Okay, so next, Zyrus, thank you for the answer. Welcome. My comment does not matter. What is it that makes Blon BL-03 timbre unbeatable? HBB tried to replicate the tuning, but its timbre is just magical. DRI IEMs, yo. Oh, hi. In terms of the tone and the timbre of the BL-03, it's unique in a way that the whole entire setup makes it what it is. It's like how you are you, right? The shell, the shape of the shell, the driver that's being used, the nozzle shape, the nozzle size, the nozzle angle, everything, is how this IEM is unique in its own ways. Right, so next would be Andreas Peter. Do you try DAC dongle? Okay, so this is my go-to dongle DAC that I use, and this is from the i5 IE Match, and it cleans up the entire sound before it comes out, the 3.5, and I would say this is really good. All right, and if you guys want to have a cleaner sound, it does reduce the volume a bit, and it cleans up the noise of whatever signal that's coming through here, right? And when it goes out to your IEM or to your headphones, IE Match is one thing which is good, but where's the other one? I don't have. I don't know. I think I left it in my bag or something like that. But the other one would be the. I don't have it here with me. But yeah, this is my go-to. Even when I review my IEMs, I use this to review my IEMs. This cleans up the audio very much. I like using this. Okay, next comment. Rampage 18. Can you suggest the most affordable? I mean, you can hear something from the headphone, but you won't be able to get the full potential of the headphone. Next comment. Free for ya. Dynamic driver versus balanced armatures versus planar drivers on IEM. What's the main difference? Okay, so dynamic driver does have a diaphragm on the inner coil of the magnetic coil, and the coil actually moves the diaphragm, and that moves the air around the diaphragm, and that creates the sound. For balanced armatures is more of like a tweeter inside in the armature. There is no moving plate or moving diaphragm. It's just I wouldn't say a speaker, but yeah, it's like a tweeter, a transducer. So there's no movement of air for balanced armatures. So that gives out a little bit different. There's no tactile movement of the air, right, inside the driver itself. Of course, this one will push the air at the same time, give you that sound that you hear. But for dynamic drivers, is a little bit different. It moves the air within the driver itself. For planars, it's similar to dynamic drivers, but it's a more efficient type of pushing of the air. Is not much of a diaphragm. In fact, they don't have diaphragm. It's more of a piece of film in between two magnetic plates, and it moves the air as well. So in terms of the performance, I would say planars have got a better performance in terms of technicalities as compared to dynamic drivers, right? But dynamic drivers, they've got that warmth, that tactile analog feel to them, right? That's why a lot of speakers are what we listen to is dynamic drivers. But for planars, they're more, I would say, they sound better for the higher frequencies. They're more accurate for the higher frequencies, like the treble, the mids and the treble beyond. So they're more efficient that way. So if you look at speakers, most of the planars technology is being used for tweeters, I guess. Okay, so that's the difference between dynamic drivers and balanced armatures and planars. Okay, next comment. Zaris, I think the dongle you have is just shown is an impedance adapter rather than a dongle DAC. Yeah, it's impedance adapter is also a DAC. I don't know. To me, it's a DAC. It's a dongle. It dongles. Okay. Next comment. Stream buffering. Yes, I apologize. I think the stream is a little bit laggy. But yeah, it is. Right. Sorry for that. Zaris, I want to try planar timbre. Is Dioko a good start for it? Yes, Dioko or where's the Kirin? Where are you, Kirin? Well, I mean, these are the only two that I have. I don't have the Kirin here with me. But yeah. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. So in terms of the planar, right? So planar, they've got that timbre that is a little bit different from dynamic drivers. They've got that cleaner timbre. It's more accurate, right? The way they represent sound is a bit different as compared to dynamic drivers. So I would say if you want to try, maybe wait for the cheaper Kineras, planars to come out. Maybe you can try that if you want to try. But I would say the Dioko or the Kirins. Okay. Andrea, Peter, maybe yeah. My stream is lagging. I'm sorry. Yes, Cyrus, but a cheaper Kinera model, Vortex just mentioned, the Kinera model is due in the near future. Yes, Kinera, as I mentioned, Kinera is coming out very soon with their budget planar, so keep a lookout for that. You might want to, yeah, it's $49 US, not 49, I think it's $40 US, 39. For the Kinera planar driver is $39 US. Zaris, did Kinera already release a graph for it? I don't trust brand that don't show frequency response graphs. I don't think they have released a graph for the Kinera planar IEM yet. Yeah. Next comment. Rampage 18. Your stream lagged a while ago. Sorry, I missed your answer to my question. Can you suggest the most affordable DAP? Okay, sorry. Sorry for the lag. I would suggest the Hy-B R5. Quite a good soundstage. In fact, the two of them have got very good soundstage. Very wide and deep soundstage. Very clear as well. The bass wise, right? I would say the Dioko sounds warmer. Yes, they sound warmer. And the mids, I would say Dioko has got more forward mids. Okay. And treble, same for Dioko. Dioko sounds more energetic, brighter, and yeah. So in terms of price, Dioko is almost it's more expensive than the AS16 Pro. So I would say it depends on what's your budget. That's one thing, and also your listening preference, what you like to listen to. If you like, Japanese anime, songs, then the Dioko is the one to go for. If you like, both of them, they are good for that. But I would say the Dioko it sounds brighter. Yeah, these two, the two difference. Okay. Let's see. Andrea Peters, can you suggest the most of binaural? Right, if you look carefully, this is binaural. I feel like making live. Okay, So this is binaural, and yeah, okay, it's 96 kilohertz, 24 bits. It's a binaural. So yeah, I do listen to binaural, and what I would say is this one, the Diokos or the Kirins. They sound great for binaural. Very, very accurate. Okay. Sorry, Rampage. I know my stream is lagging, and I think I'm on for quite some time now. How long have I been on? I've been on for 2 hours. Have I been on for 2 hours? Okay, so I might need to, yeah, it's 1.5 hours. Wow, it's a long live stream. Thank you so much, guys, for keeping me going on and on. Okay, so next would be free FOIA. Which would you recommend? $200. I prefer natural sounding, no coloration of sound, just a real deal sound. $200. BQEYZ Topaz or the BQEYZ Autumn, or this Diokos. Diokos not really $200. Yeah, but Diokos. And yeah, that's about it. Next, Carmine De Santos. Hello, nice to meet you. Just got in from the garden. Thank you for coming in. Let me see. Anikat Damanath, thank you for answering my questions. Thank you. Okay, so I think I'm going to answer one last comment, and then I will end. Oh yeah, Vortex. Star. Yeah, right. Airship. Where is it? Yeah, right here, friend. This is the airship. Yes, this is a very no coloration on this, bro. Very good. Yeah. Okay, last one, and then I'll end this live stream. Afuyan, the Dioko looks like a gem crystal. It's true. I mean, if you look at the Dioko, it's got a glass. This is glass, by the way, or a glass acrylic. But it feels like glass. It doesn't even feel like acrylic. It doesn't feel plastic to me. It feels like a piece of glass. Okay, so looks like a diamond or an opal. I don't know, but it's an odd shape. Same like the Timeless, but it's good. Okay, so last comment. I'll answer the last comment and then we'll call it a night. Urban Punk, what's your favorite budget IEM? For now, my favorite would be I know. It's the ESX, right? I'm not shilling on this, but this is my favorite. Okay, for budget. If you say it's budget, this is the one. Okay. Right. So, I think I'm gonna call it a day for this live stream. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining me and chatting with me and talking to me. I'm actually talking to myself, but you guys are talking to me. But thank you so much for joining in. I really enjoyed myself. And if I can, I'll try to do this every weekend, and then we can talk things out. I can show you guys the stuff that I have, talk about it, and share some information with you guys. Okay, so thank you so much for joining my live stream. I hope you guys have a great evening or great morning or great afternoon, and have a great day. Cheers. Bye.